Oh man, welcome back to Offsides Podcast, June, Pete. Uh, we out here recording today. We want to send our prayers out to our brother James. You know what I'm saying? He'll be back with us shortly when he can, but for right now, we're just gonna send prayers out to him and his family. Pete, how you feeling, brother? You got your team playing the Lions. I got my team playing the Panthers. How you
I'm
feel?
good. I'm good, man. Can't complain.
June had the vid, bro. June, how you feeling?
Man, I tell you, man, boy, the second string, boy, that dude can't aim harder, man. Like, hey, pause. And I was like, damn, like what's going on? I thought it was Jerry Jones sending the Cowboys after me, man. But it didn't work, Jerry. It didn't work.
And Jerry got too much to worry about. So look, we was having a conversation before we started recording. I didn't even put it in. Pete, you said that preseason really doesn't do it for you, right? And I said before it didn't, but now that we do these podcasts, I kind of watch it because a player can emerge from this. You can get a guy that's going to do good, and he might end up getting picked up by another team or whatever, or take over a spot in the 53-man roster. And June said he likes it. I like it when they play. I'm not saying they got like a Brady and Rodgers. Let's say a Patrick. I don't. Nah, that's the franchise. Patrick Mahomes get hurt right now. Let's say blow an ACL or Achilles or something, MCL gone. Hey, Andy Reid's fired because you played Patrick Mahomes in the preseason. But for those quarterbacks, like in my team, you got Brissett coming in brand new, Drake May getting drafted, and Milton getting drafted. I want to see some reps. You know what I'm saying? I want to see them get out there and get some feels. So that's my take on it. Plus, it was something that a lot of other players said when they play in the preseason, they getting hit. This is the real deal. They got players coming after them because in practice, like if I'm defense and I get close to June, they'll blow the whistle. They'll be like,
I was gonna bring up what I prefer is the joint practices than
okay.
the actual games because they practice like the whole week together and now they're gonna play. So to me, it's just overkill. They practice like you see them fighting with each other. I prefer the joint practices than this
Okay,
again.
so that's a good look. We're gonna get to that. I'm glad you said that. Let me write this down. Hold on, bro. So I could keep my notes together. Because it wasn't part of my original notes. Let me write this stuff down. Where's my pens at? All right, I got one here. So you said the joint practices. All right, I'm gonna get back to that. So June, what's your take, like more detailed take on it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like the preseason based on almost like what do college players do in college, right? They fight to get into the NFL, so they can make money. I mean, I don't know how it is now with all the extra money they're gonna be making of endorsements and stuff, but ultimately their goal is to get into the NFL and play, so they can win the Super Bowl. So I like the way that it carries into the preseason. Now you're fighting for a spot, and I mean, look at the Fields and Russell situation. I mean, in my opinion, now they're gonna play Fields, right? And if he does well, then I got a little hunch that they're gonna probably start him over Russell based on his play on preseason. So that's mainly why I like the preseason, man, because I want to see who fits best in that position. Not playing the entire game because we don't want to see no injuries, especially early in the season, because you do have those that they're coming at you full force and may hurt you because they're trying to earn that spot, so they're trying to take your head off. But that's why I like the preseason, man, because I like to see who best fits that position, and instead of waiting for the season to start and saying, man, we should have started this guy. Well, you didn't because you didn't play him in the preseason to kind of feel him out to see what his weaknesses were, at least in the big.
Yeah, I think like I said, for me, I don't I didn't watch preseason before at all. And then when I started recording play call, even before that, that's when I started kind of getting into it. And now more than ever that I ain't got nothing else going on, I might as well see what's going on. And I think what June said is good. I want to see what these guys are made of early. You know what I'm saying? Like for my team, I would want to play. I feel like I hear people talk. Like I was just watching Speak, And TJ Husmann was like that. The Bills got 2 games that are layups every season. Until they basically the Patriots suck that bad that they're automatic losses against the Bills. And I'm like, man, if I was a player, bro, that would burn my fucking biscuit, bro. Like, if I'm the head coach and I'm a player and I see that, I'm thinking like, bro, they don't even give us credit. Like, they're not even counting us as a team that could stop the Bills when they stopped them before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that would motivate me to go out there and want to play better and make the team, because I think that's going to tell you who really wants to be there and who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's so disrespectful when like one time, do you remember we recorded, you said they're professionals. You know, they all get drafted or they're undrafted, but they all playing. And whether the weakest team is still a professional team. We're not talking about a minor league, you know, football team that got dudes from high school and in the Navy playing part-time. You know what I'm saying? We talking about these are real athletes out here doing it. So yeah, right. Man, I think that playing them is good. You know, like I said, I don't want to see nobody get hurt. But I feel like, man, if you don't play them, kind of like protecting them, now they get on the field in the first game of the season and pull a hammy or something, and now they gone.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah. Or you got the old line.
No, I'm sorry, man. None of these dudes is playing anyway, though. The real dudes, only on some teams are they playing.
Yeah.
Not all these teams are playing their stars. So I guess they're willing to they'd rather have them get hurt if they're gonna get hurt in the regular season in the game that kind of means something, as opposed to
game
where they're gonna get maybe 2 or 3 series and then they're out.
Yeah, I'd rather that. But I also look at what happened to Edelman that one season when y'all won the Super Bowl against us. He got hurt in preseason. And I'm thinking, man, why the hell you out there catching balls anyway? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we lost them. So I'm on the fence both ways, but I do rather see like one series. Give me 4 downs. That's it. Hey, get out there, feel the rhythm, feel it, throw the ball. All right, get off, get out. Let's get these other guys trying to make the team out there to play and see what's up. Speaking of preseason, right? Kyler Murray's been hurt. He's been in and out games. Do you play him? I'm gonna start with Pete. Pete, you play him or no?
No. So practice is for, bro. So practice is for. Because, you know, a lot of these guys, they've been complaining about the turf fields. He blew out his knee 2 years ago. Nah. Wait till, just get ready for the season.
Okay.
Quick note, it was like in the the draft process, the combine and stuff. Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't do none of that. Why? His pop said, yo, he already knows what he's got to do to get ready to play a football season.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are, like we just talked about, they're professionals. They know what they got to do. These are scrimmage games. When the games, again, these games don't mean a thing. It's just getting reps, them seeing you against another team. And that's why I brought up the joint practices. Joint practices to me are the same thing as these games. To me.
June, will you play him?
I would play him just based on any type of weakness that I've seen during the practices. So if I feel like, hey, you know what, he's struggling on these plays, let me put him out there for maybe a snap or two to see if he's gonna adjust in real time. And I would target the weaknesses based off of his practice play. Man, I was watching the Olympics earlier, man, and somebody said one of the things they train to golly, man, it was something dope, man. I was like, I'm gonna steal it.
You didn't write it down.
Let me tell you, man, it was something along the lines like it was like critique the player, hold the player accountable, build the player, and praise the player. And I was like, I kind of like that. So that's kind of how I would kind of look at the preseason, man. I want to see where the accountability, where you're going to build them, and then where you're going to give them his kudos for executing.
So I was seeing something on one of these talk shows, and they said that the veteran coaches, the coaches with stake, the coaches with that have protection, let's just say like Andy Reid, for example, you're not firing Andy Reid. You're not going to fire Mike Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to fire who's another head coach? Kyle Shanahan. You're not going to fire certain coaches. They got protection. They're good. But you got some of these coaches that they don't have that. They're on the hot seat. They're a bad decision away. And let's say they go out there and start their starter that they just drafted or they got started and he gets hurt. You know, the general manager and the owner's going to come down like, who made that decision? You made the decision, you got to go. Because now for the rest of the year, my team is done right now. Unless I can find another player to come fill them shoes right now and make the difference. So I think that has a lot to play with it too with some of these guys. Old school people have a different way of looking at it. And I think that's another. Sean McVay did that. Remember, he didn't play nobody during preseason. He was like,
started.
nah, yeah, I'm not doing it. You know what? I'm not risking it. I ain't losing nobody. You know, and then you said practices, you know, and the joint practices. So there's been your team was fighting with the Lions like 6-7 times. Y'all got fined $200,000 for both teams for fighting. I'm gonna start with June on this one. June, what's your take on it? Do you think it's good for the team when the team's getting there and be fighting, or you think it's not?
I think it depends on the fight. I mean, it sounds really crazy, but it depends what you're defending, man. Are you defending? Are you truly defending a player based on what's not being held accountable from the official aspect of things, or are you just fighting because you can't control your behavior? And that's what I would base it off of right there. But at the end of the day, man, it goes back to that professionalism. It goes back to having control because the team can't afford to lose you, especially if you hold some type of importance on that field.
That's fair. Pete?
These dudes is, got all that equipment on. They're practicing in the heat. You know what I'm saying? They're hitting each other. It's gonna get on their nerves every once in a while, and which is stupid because they taking swings at each other and they got helmets on. So somebody's gonna be stupid enough to break their hand, but it's what it is. Even with those Guardian caps, they showed a play on the Giants. Their left tackle didn't have one on, and I guess he cracked some dude on the block, but I guess he caught him on the side right here, and you heard it. So you think about punching that. It's stupid. I mean,
yeah,
they're supposed to they got fined that much because they were warned no fighting in the practices, and of course they started fighting a couple times, so that's why they got fined. As far as my take on it, it's gonna happen, man. In anything, basketball is gonna happen. A contact sport is gonna happen,
I tell you, man, I don't think it's a bad thing per se. Like you said, it's hot. They've been practicing, I don't know how many times a day, how many hours a day, how many days consistently. People talking trash to each other. It's a contact sport out there, people trying to make their bread. Not only that, you get too close to my starting quarterback or whatever. And I think that when you see that happen, it shows the team is supporting you, right? They're protecting you. Remember a few years ago, Dak Prescott got into it and nobody came to help him. And it was like the talk of the town, right? That the offensive line didn't come out there and protect him. The team didn't rush to his rescue, that he's a starting quarterback. And a lot of people felt that Dak lost the team, that he didn't have the team support or respect because if he did, they would have stuck up for him. I feel like when you got a person like Daniel Jones getting involved, whether he just try to get somebody off or not, a lot of quarterbacks will step off. They're like, yo, listen, I got to protect his body. Without me, we ain't going nowhere. I think it shows a lot of team unity there. I think it shows a team that's in the trenches. You got Dan Campbell's team who's not going to back down from shit because the coach ain't backing down. But I think it's good, man. I think it's good. I think you're right. The NFL did send letters out to the team saying no fights, so that's why they got fined $200,000. But what's $200,000 for multi-million-dollar teams? And they splitting that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm the owner, I'm like, June, I send 100,000, you send it, fuck it, But I also feel like at the end of the day, there's got to be a level of respect towards each other. It shouldn't be ill will like that. Like, remember that time where Akeem Talib punched Crabtree in the face, ripped his chain off and stuff during a real game? That was like a real game.
Yeah, that was a real game.
Yeah, that was stupid. I didn't like that. Now that I didn't like. But if we out there practicing, like you said, man, and I think these guys hitting people in the helmet is stupid as hell with your bare hand. Like you said, it's a helmet. That's like on the shit, Pete, when they get mad, they punch the bulkhead. Now, mind you, the walls are steel. You know what I'm saying? Like, You ain't never gonna win that fight, bro.
Right.
Now they in medical with a broken hand. Talking about, man, I got so mad I punched it. And how did that go for you, bro? I just want to know, how did that happen to go for you? Speaking of all that, the joint, I think joint practices are good too, man. Honestly, I do. I think if you do it right, you're not seeing your first defense all the time. You're seeing somebody else's defense.
Yeah, that's to me, that's the perfect thing. The
Yeah.
perfect way to practice is against another team.
And then I think, like June said, you look at the weaknesses, and if let's say we're both head coaches, you know, we're obviously we're opening our facility to each other, right? That's a fact, and we're opening our playbooks to each other. I would be like, yo, P, hey, listen, man, look, my quarterback struggles with this kind of rush. Can you see if your defense can get to it to see how he reacts? And then you tell me, hey, look, my defense struggles with this. Maybe we can do something to see how they pick up on it. And I mean, I get it. You might see each other in the regular season later on, and that's cool, but you could prep all you want. It comes about to execution and who wants it more at the end of the day. This is gonna be more for June and Pete, but you know, June, I'm gonna start off with you on this one. There's been rumors that Jalen Hurts and Sirianni's relationship is on the outs by comments that were made, certain things. Nick has been under scrutiny, right? Because some people say he doesn't call the play calls. He's not really like you know how you got Andy Reid's offensive mind, Bill Belichick's a defensive mind, Ron Rivera's defense, Eberflus's is defense, Harbaugh, I think, is offense. You know, the brother in the damn Chargers. Kyle Shanahan offense. They're saying that the last year's play calling had people frustrated, and now you could tell like Jalen's not in the best part. What's your take on that? You know, you the Eagles resident, so you know you've been at camp. What's going on,
Man? So we got rid of our OC first and foremost, right? So that was a somewhat of a fix to a situation. Not the entire fix, but somewhat of a fix to a situation. And then also listening to their press conferences and whatnot this week. Instead of Sirianni making those play calls, he's given the OC the keys to make those play calls. So Sirianni did speak a little bit on that situation, and he spoke about accountability on both ends, and it's gonna take everything to come in, and kind of patch it up and piece it together. But he said there's nothing to really worry about, man. And I started really thinking about it myself, and just my take on it. I don't think that there isn't a football team out there that has a perfect relationship with all their coaches. Because I don't think that they're all gonna see eye to eye. They work together for a couple of seasons now, and the downfall really started at week 11 last year, and they just couldn't get it together afterwards. But again, the patches are there, man. I'm not really concerned, man. I'm not concerned at all. He looks good in the preseason. From what I've read and what I've seen, how they're speaking. I mean, his character and his mood, they look healthy. So I'm not extremely concerned, man. And I would have to wait until the first couple of weeks to really see if that really played out the way that they're making it seem.
No, fair enough. Pete?
And this is not because it's a rival. Eagles, for me, the Eagles check the box in GM and roster. If they got one hole in any chink in the armor, it's Sirianni. I've been saying this for a minute. How do you have that roster and blow that lead in the division that they had? They had the division for them. 3 games, 2 against the Giants, 1 against the Cardinals. They lost 2 or 3, lost the division to the Cowboys. The year before, they lost the lead in the Super Bowl. I don't put that on the players because everybody says when they talk about the Super Bowl is Jalen Hurts outplayed Mahomes, which he did. You're up at halftime with that roster. You should not lose that game. I put that completely on Sirianni. And last year, I put that on Sirianni. Sirianni, to me, is if there's a whole bunch of dudes over there, you got one loud dude talking mad shit, And that's the one who can't fight. That's Sirianni to me. Sirianni just looks like he's more concerned with running his mouth and talking shit and coaching a team. And these reports coming out, everybody's talking about it now. And of course, when they ask them about it, they're not going to be like, yeah, man, shit is fucked up in here. They're going to be like, nah, we're good. They're not going to tell you the truth. But A.J. Brown was tight last year because of what was going on. So rumor is that Sirianni got his, this is what we're going to do. If you don't like it, you could leave. That's why they gave him the new coordinators, which he got 2 good coordinators now. But like, if the success of the team is going off the coordinators, what does he really bring to the table? I don't think he's a good coach. Eagles had a better coach, they win that Super Bowl, and they win the division last year.
I think you're right. I give Jalen Hurts shit, but I like Jalen Hurts. I do.
No, he's
a
professional, good, man.
He's a professional, man. The dude outplayed Mahomes. He did.
Absolutely.
What comes down to these games, bro, and I've said this before, and I can't take credit. Belichick said it. Coaches lose the games for players. You know what I'm saying? So the first year when y'all went to the Super Bowl, y'all had a different OC and a different defensive coordinator. And when them guys left, because the year that Sirianni started, it wasn't that good. He didn't do good play calling. He gave it up to the OC, who Shane, what's his name? Steichen?
Shane Steichen.
Yeah, Steichen.
Yeah.
And y'all went to the Super Bowl. What happens when you go to the Super Bowl? People are like, oh, well, shit. I want that OC as my head coach because it's an offensive league. He goes. Y'all lose your DC. What happens the next year? He struggles. He gives up the play calling again. You brought up a good point. Any other head coach with that roster, think about it, bro. Your shit's stacked, man.
Roster's sick, bro.
That defense in the scoring into the Super Bowl, which I was like a sack away or 10 sacks away from the actual team record for most sacks. And I think y'all had 5 defensive players in double digits in sacks. That's unheard of, bro. Like y'all sacking motherfuckers while they sleeping. They didn't even start the game and they sacked. You know what I'm saying? Then you got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. At the time, you had Miles Sanders, right?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. Y'all had Goddard. And Hurts is playing great. Poised, not making bad decisions. Y'all using what y'all got to use. Go into half, and I feel like what the Chiefs do, and this is where they separate themselves, is their adjustment to your weakness. Like you said, to your flaw again. You're going to let me come back, then I'm going to come back. It's all coaching. Last year, we talked about this. Y'all had the shit on Smash. Y'all should have been probably #1 seed.
10-1, I think it was.
Yeah. And then y'all give the division to the damn Cowboys. And it's not the players. I think it's him. And it's like you said, Pete, they're not going to come out and say, yo, this dude sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I can't stand this guy.
Yeah,
I can't come out and
say
that.
He can't. But I tell you what, I think if what I hear from Shady McCoy and Acho about Howie Roseman, I think he's looking. I think that's talk already. Because you can't tell me I got a second-round pick quarterback that's playing like a first-round pick. He took me to the Super Bowl, right? Took me back to the playoffs. I have 2 wide receiver ones at my 1 and 2 position. You said they had both 1,000 yards apiece, right? Last year or something like that. You got Goddard, who's a good tight end. All right, you went from Sanders to Swift, and now you go to Saquon. Your defense, y'all did better. Y'all got Devin White. I forgot y'all had Devin White. I saw his interview on the Pivot. Go watch that interview. It's a good interview. I like Devin. So you made your middle linebacker core strong. You got safety in your corner protection. You got more people now. What's the excuse coming up then?
The only thing is, Sirianni, that entire thing puts Sirianni hands down on the hot seat.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we have a rocky start if he's gone mid-season.
Ooh.
Like Pete said, with everything that we have and the successors that we have in place and had in place, because that's why Cox stayed an extra year. Mm-hmm. That's why Kelsey stayed that extra year, and so on and so forth, was to help out their successors. And now that they're gone, and we have all the secondary, man, I mean, shoot, they got players now they could choose from in the secondary. Hands down, if we go If we go 0-2, my guy, that thing is on fire.
Nah, man. 0-2, he ain't going home, bro.
I'm just saying. It can get as crazy as that, though.
I mean,
Lori ain't gonna take it, man. The owner is not gonna put up with that. As much money as they spent, they won't put up with another disappointing season.
the minute you get a taste of winning, it's hard to go back to losing. You know what I'm saying? And I said this on the play call. You take Robert Kraft, for example. Guy went to what, 9 Super Bowls, won 6, and went from he was the epitome of winning. Now he's losing, has to go to these owners' meetings, and people look at you like Jerry Jones now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you went from being nobody can chase it to you because nobody was touching you to now, and he said it, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of being where I'm at. I need to get back to winning Super Bowls. I want to get back to the playoffs. And owners don't like looking bad, man. If I'm a billionaire, bro, I don't, no. Think about it. If my team right now sucking major ass, right? Y'all winning. We go to y'all owners and we go to the thing. We having drinks and y'all motherfuckers like, yo, Frank, your team fucking sucks. Y'all can't even win a game against a fucking minor league or Pee Wee league or what, a Pop Warner league. And I'm looking at y'all like, that's true. I'll be so mad. I'm leaving, bro. I'm putting my drink down, and you know I don't waste no drink. I'm leaving my drink down, getting on my private jet, and I'm calling my GM, and I'm showing his ass out for no reason at 2:00 in the morning because I want to win. So we'll see, June. So June's predicting, Pete. He said it here first. Halfway through the season, by week 8.
He said if. He said if. I don't think he just put money on it.
No, I'm not bet money. No. Listen, I'm broke. I can't bet money. But what I'm saying is, we gonna put it here first. So you say what week you giving to June? If your Eagles aren't where they need to be by this week, you think Sirianni's gone? What week is that?
I give it week 7. I won't even give it the full half of the season.
When's your bye week? When's your bye week, June? We got to get a new production team because they don't be giving us no notes, bro. Our production team sucks.
I had it written down right here too.
So, all right. Well,
if they come out like last year, 10-1, there's gonna be no talk of him going anywhere.
Yeah, no.
What happens in the playoffs for the Eagles? To me,
I know, but I'd rather get to the playoffs and not get there. Week 5, okay.
Week 5. Oh yeah, week 5. Right?
So yeah, by week 7, if there's no adjustments to make it better, but I don't see that. Honestly, right. I don't see that happening, y'all. Y'all too good, and I gotta look at your schedule, but I don't see you guys being like 4-3 by that point. You know what I'm saying? Or 4-2, maybe 4-2. I don't know, but I don't see y'all struggling that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Philly's roster itself is gonna, even if this dude has a shit game coaching, the players are good enough on that team
to make it.
Exactly. They can look at the first game last year against the Patriots. That was a close game in Foxborough, right? Or in Gillette, sorry.
Yeah.
That was look, the players made that shit happen, against the Patriots, who was one of the worst teams in the league. And you're talking about Philly with that roster, they struggled to get a win, but they did it.
If we would have played just a little bit better, we could have beat them. You know what I'm saying? We could have beat them, but the shoulda, coulda, woulda didn't happen.
That's what the talent shows, though. That's what the talent roster shows against the.
Yeah, you can say less inferior team. It's okay. It's okay. I'm good, man. Look, I'm not going to take it personal. I'm gonna cry after this. Just it sucks going from winning every year to now nobody even talks about you in the division. Like, we went from being always talked about to being like the modern day Jets of the East, bro. Think about it. That's us. So I'm hoping that, Rod Mayo and our team does enough to at least sneak by a few games. I think our defense is good enough to sneak by a few games. I would love us to have a winning season. We don't got to go to playoffs. We don't got to do that. Give me a 9-8. I'm happy. I could talk trash, but yeah, man. So I don't want to talk about this, but let's just get it out the way, because what would be if we didn't talk about it? So they said that the Steelers and the 49ers had agreed to a verbal agreement of sending Ayuk over. The Patriots offered more money. He said no. I don't know what the Browns offered. I still haven't seen nothing solidified on X or NFL Network or ESPN or FS or nothing. Do you think he's actually going to go to the Steelers? And if he does, what was that move about? You know, and what does that do for the Steelers? I'm gonna start with P. So one question is, do you think he's actually really gonna go? If he is gonna go, because he had to pick the team he was going to. It just couldn't be the 49ers getting rid of him. He turned down more money because he would have been the third highest paid receiver in the league with the Patriots. He's going to the Steelers. So if do you think he's gonna go? And if he does go, what you think made him do that decision to go there? How does that impact that team, the Steelers?
Well, it's from what I read, it's agreed upon.
Yeah, verbally.
The 49ers want a little bit more in return. Yeah, they're willing to give him the money. I mean, look, Justin Fields wanted to go there too. I think a lot of players look at the Steelers as a solid organization, a solid team. That's the way it's run. So look, Justin Fields wanted to go there over other teams that he had. They gave him the choice. Ayuk doesn't want to play for Cleveland, doesn't want to play for New England. He wanted to go to the Commanders, but I think what's setting these guys, what's holding this up is the 49ers, what they want in return. And but does he want to go to the Steelers? It looks like he does, because we would have heard that he said no, the same way we heard he said no about the Browns and the Patriots. So he goes there, he's the number one receiver.
You think it makes the Steelers instant favorites in that division?
No, that division is too. I think that both North divisions are good. AFC and NFC North divisions are both good. I don't think that gives them a head up. I mean, it does make them better. He's a really good receiver, but does it put them above the Ravens? No, I don't think so.
June?
If he goes to the Steelers, man, I don't think it makes them any better. I don't think so. I mean, you could trade for AJ Brown. You could trade for Jefferson, and you could even have a CeeDee Lamb as a third. and until the Steelers could solidify an above average quarterback to make it happen, then I think that's the nucleus of that team right there. That's why they've been having winning seasons. Analytics say they're going to have a winning record this year. And we talked about this, Frank. Analytics say that Tomlinson is going to have a winning record, and that's what IU brings to the table. Maybe solidifying another 500 and above season, but that's it. I think the bigger problem is falling under center, and until they solidify that quarterback issue, it doesn't matter who you put on the 1, 2, and 3s. Ayuk's and we talked about this again. You guys were paying him $28 million. That was the contract I was reading.
32 million. Yeah.
$32 million versus the 14 that he was getting this year.
Yeah.
And you're adding that type of character in Pittsburgh. And that's a whole different conversation that Frank and I had. We talked a little bit about us as an owner. And me, I wouldn't want that type of character, because if you don't get what you want, is this what you're going to bring to the locker room? And I personally didn't like that. Again, different taste or whatever, but it is what it is. So, no. Robbie Anderson to replace him.
One more thing, though. If you say you're asking if that makes the Steelers that much better, you got to look at their offensive coordinator, who just got fired from Atlanta because he wasn't using his players the way that he should have been. He should have. He had a great offense. He had Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Wasn't using them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's an offensive guy, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't using these guys. That's why he got fired. And now you're going to give him a number one receiver. You don't know how he's going to use them. Is it going to be run heavy? So, yeah, it's a no for me, man.
But let me ask you real quick. what does Pickens say about all this? I mean, because if I'm Pickens, I thought I was gonna be the number one.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is, and you know, I feel a little disrespected. I'm gonna have my little mad rapper moment. You know what I mean? And I said this to June. He ain't going for the impact. He's going where he wants to play. It's like, so I don't know about civilian world. I don't know nothing about civilian world, people. I did 26 years in the Navy. So I was under contract. I didn't have the privilege or the opportunity to say, wah, I don't like it here no more. I'm not coming to work. No. I could get to a brand new command and have 3 years there. And within the first 5 months, I could know it's going to be horrible. And for the next, 20, 31 months, if I got 3 years and I'm there for 5, I got to just suck it up and come to work every day with a smile and lead sailors and do my job, because I didn't get the luxury. I don't have that luxury to, but hey, you know, I don't like it here. Can you send me somewhere else? I could have did that in some places and could have ended up on the first thing smoking on deployment for 9 months to 12 months, enjoying my life away from my family. So we had to pick and choose our poison. However, me personally, if you want money, right? You want money. You want to be respected as the guy. And your team, you're not the best player. You're not the best player. You might be the best wide receiver as far as the position goes, because Debo's a hybrid of a running back and a wide receiver, but you're not the number one player. You're probably the fourth best player on that team behind, well, if we add the Trent Williams on, then he's the fifth best player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as far as getting the ball, you got McCaffrey, Kittle, Debo, and then it's probably him. When you have potentially that talent around you, a defense has to worry about CMC. Whether he's running the ball, he's catching the ball at the backfield, they got to worry about it. You got to prepare for that. You got to prepare for Kittle for on a bump and run to come out. You got to prepare for Debo coming out the backfield or on some wrap around, run around, jet stream, option, whatever. You are the fourth person that somebody is actually preparing for when they come to play your team. If you want to make sure that you're that guy, I say go to the Patriots or the Browns. Now, the reason I didn't mad he didn't come to us is because, like, again, I'm in my bag. When we was winning, everybody wanted to be on the Patriots. They were taking pay cuts. They were coming over on friendly deals just to play with Tom Brady. But, those days are over. The glory days are over, The Ted Bundy, but the Al Bundy days are done. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing for 4 touchdowns in a single game no more. So I get it. But what if you would have came to the team and you helped that team propel and you're still getting 1,200, 1,500 yards receiving? You are a real wide receiver one. Your stock goes up. You go to the Browns, you help them come up because they only really got Amari Cooper and they just added Jerry Jeudy. So you could be a solid 1 or 2 there. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know Amari Cooper's going to eat wherever he go. Dallas, 8. Browns, he's eating. I forgot where he was at before that. But he ate. We know he ate. Oakland, 8 there. You know what I'm saying? We know that. We know he's a stud. That dude's a good wide. It's like Devontae Adams. You can move him around. He going to make it do what it do. So I just feel like if you wanted to get your name up, you would go to where you can make that impact and make a difference. Now, you said it. Justin Fields wanted to go to the Steelers. It's Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is the head coach. That's what they want to go play for because he said, I'm a leader of men and I lead these men. And they all want to go play with him. Sometimes what you want ain't what you need. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, does it make him no, I don't, because you don't even know who you're going to start at quarterback. You don't know who you're going to start at quarterback. We don't know what Russell Wilson's going to look like. You said it best, June. Fields is outplaying him now. And even the head coach said, yeah, Russell's our guy, but it is a competition. I'm mad at what's on the field, not on practice. So if Fields plays good during these preseason games, you're going to start Fields. But we already saw 3 years of Fields in Chicago. Is he going to be good? Can this OC get him to be the best that he could be that they thought he was going to be in Chicago? So I don't know. I like it. I think Ayuk, and you're right, June, I wouldn't want him on my team. I think these teams got to have a hard, me personally, I would tell that mug, I'm not trading you because that's not how it works. You're under contract. You have another year. This is your last year, right? Because the 5th option or whatever, this is your last year. You don't want to be here after that, you can go test the market. But you're here. And I'm not trading just because you don't want to be here no more. Honestly, he stays with the 49ers. They got a chance of going back to the Super Bowls. He goes to the Steelers. There's no guarantees he's making it. The Browns, no guarantees making it. And with the Patriots right now, where our team is built, you're not even probably going to see the playoffs. So your best bet is stay there, hopefully win a ring, and then you can write your check wherever you want to go. Moving on to missing people. These wide receivers, yo. Josh Allen asked a question, and he was like, I wouldn't say miss Stephon Diggs. So, June, do you think that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are going to miss Stephon Diggs?
I think so. I mean, he's Stephon Diggs at the end of the day. He's Stephon Diggs, and I think him and Gabe Davis at the time were a great 1-2 punch in Buffalo. Everything was clicking and everything like that. And I think that we all agreed at one point where there was too much emphasis being put on Josh Allen, and he was doing it all. He wasn't utilizing his running backs like he should have, and everything just kind of filtered around him. And they just couldn't win the big game to get to the next big game in the playoffs. Even losing at home back-to-back, I believe, right? To the Chiefs, or losing to the Chiefs back-to-back. So I think that, yes, he will be missed by Josh Allen and the entire Buffalo Bills and the entire Buffalo Bills mafia and even their unborn children.
Pete, June, yeah, you got to give June credit. When June gets on his shit, he be on his shit. What about you, Pete?
I don't know. Of course, I don't have a prediction for them for if they're gonna miss him or not. But I'm gonna guess no. And I'll tell you why. Look at the Chiefs. They didn't lose Tyreek Hill, but it was similar to Ayuk. Wanted to get paid. They figured they could, do without him. They won 2 Super Bowls since Tyreek Hill left. The Giants, Tiki was gone. Shockey was hurt. They won a fucking Super Bowl without these dudes. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction, man. Look, I don't have to worry about this. And I love Shockey, bro. Love Shockey. Hated the fact that he wasn't on the field when they won. But it's a question of going back to the huddle and not hearing this dude's in my ear talking about, yo, I'm open, get me the rock. You're not hearing that from Diggs anymore. Same way Eli wasn't hearing it from Shockey and hearing it from Tiki. Because Tiki, when it was in a run or he wasn't getting the ball, they said he used to, to get on his shit. So now, okay, he got Plax giving him shit, but Plax is the number one unquestioned. All receivers are kind of divas, but I think we've seen over the years, Diggs is on another level. Like, you know what I mean? Not saying that he's bad, because he's a great receiver. But I think it in the huddle is where it makes a difference. I don't think he's gonna miss that. Yo, bro, I'm open, or yo, you ain't see me here, or you know what I mean. That's what I don't think. When he said that, I'm guessing that's what he was getting at. Like, yo, I'm not gonna miss this dude bitching at me in the fucking huddle.
I think what's crazy is at first I was like, man, they crazy because they got rid of Gabe Davis. They really didn't replenish much. They lost on defense. We know Josh Allen's a turnover problem. You know what I'm saying? He's he's not, to me, he's not Brett Favre. Before I got into before I started rooting for Brady, I was Brett Favre was my dude, bro. Like, Brett Favre couldn't do no wrong. But when I saw Keon Coleman and I saw this kid out there happy to be there, and the minute he got to the facility, he was like, yo, let me see the playbook. I don't give a shit about touring this shit. Show me the playbook. I want the playbook. And him and Josh started talking and stuff like that. I said, man, this might be the best thing for Josh, is to have this little young guy that's trying to prove himself. He was a second-round pick. He should have won the first round, to be honest. And they took him in the second round. So I think he'd be okay. And I agree with Pete, man. sometimes when I gotta worry about you, getting you the ball, putting you in the right spot, it's too much. Now, excuse me, it could be a team effort. I don't have to, I can go with whoever's open. I ain't got to worry about somebody complaining about targets, not enough touchdowns. And I can't take credit for this because I heard it somewhere else. But somebody pointed out, look at that last quarter of last season. He only had 41 yards per game, and they went on a run of a 5-1 run and won the division without Stephon Diggs, pretty much no touchdowns or nothing. So they already showed you, like, listen, we don't need you.
Yep.
That's why they let him go. And I also feel everything has a season, right? People come into your life for a season. Maybe that time that Diggs came there was to help Josh Allen be a better quarterback. And now Diggs' purpose is gone, and he can go take his talents to Texas. And Allen doesn't need him there no more because now he can do what he got to do without having to rely on him.
One thing it's driving me insane that you brought up Gabe Davis and you said they didn't replace him. This dude has so many no-shows. Look, I told you I'm into fantasy big time, yo. And I never understood the allure of this guy, yo. I'm looking at his stats from last year. There were 4 games where he did not have a catch, bro.
Bro, because he had that 1 year where he showed up big time.
I don't get it. And
remember
then he got paid from Jacksonville.
2 touchdowns or some shit. So you saw the potential of what he could do. So people started thinking, oh shit, we can take him, especially in fantasy, because you know when you draft so many wide receiver ones to your 1 and 2 position, maybe I do 3 position at wide receiver. You don't really think about when they get double teamed, that's points lost, right? So it's kind of good to have a 1, maybe a 2, a solid 2, a 1 type, something you could fluctuate with. I went, Gabe Davis. There was times I picked him off the free agency, thinking, he gonna give me at least 5-10 points. Nah, kid, that dude got me.
In 4 games, yo.
Nah, bro. So I get what you're saying.
It used to drive me crazy, bro.
But we're not talking about fantasy either. We talking about the game, bro. If we talk about fantasy,
no, I didn't. I brought up fantasy, but I'm bringing up his stats.
No, yeah. The stats are relevant.
You got 4 donuts, yo. You got 4 donuts.
But you know what's crazy is, man, that you take people that are not us doing a podcast, but they play fantasy and they can spew out the stats. You know what I'm saying? Like they know the stats because of fantasy. They don't know the stats for no other reason, but they know that. They know when this dude had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns with 10 catches and shit. It's crazy because sometimes I look at stats and I'm like, yo, that's 30 points right there that dude got in the PPR league. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude just got you mad points. So I don't know. I don't think he's gonna miss him. I just feel like the team overall, Pete, they lost a lot of pieces that they haven't replenished. And I feel like that can play a part, but I also feel that Josh Allen is more mature now to be able to make it do what it do, especially in the East, because we don't know what the Jets are gonna be like. You picked them as a sleeper, I think, last time, to kind of creep up there. Aaron Rodgers making a little slick comments. I don't know if y'all saw the Up and Adams interview and other things he said. Because Salah said he's not playing him, and here comes Aaron. Well, I didn't know I wasn't playing. Nobody mentioned it to me. Blah 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 blah. So it's like one of those things. Like he's I don't know. Aaron Rodgers to me,
troublemaker, yo.
He is he's not worth it. He's not. It's not worth the bang, yo. It's like the fly. It's like you having that fly chick, and when people see her, oh yo, she's bad. Face on 1,000, bodies 1,000. And she can't make a fucking cup of coffee, bro. So what good is she? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even beat her every night. It's just killing you. It's like, oh, she's there for show. And to me, that's what Aaron Rodgers is. Is that guy you got there, that 4 MVP. He's living off 1 Super Bowl appearance and 4 MVPs.
He did carry the shit out that flag last year. I never seen nobody carry.
Yeah, he did. But that was his spectacular moment. We watched it together. Do you remember? It was on play call on Zoom, watching it, and then we was like, "Where's Aaron Rodgers?" And they still won that game, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, they had what's his name? Zach Wilson. I forgot. Where's Zach Wilson at? I forgot.
Denver.
God bless his soul. I hope he does well.
They mamas. They say, "Hey, don't bring your moms around because he like to take them down."
That dude crazy, man. That dude is crazy.
Look, we got a little bit of time to spare. you've been watching. I know you don't watch Hard Knocks, Pete, but because of your team, I watched it, and now I'm watching the Bears.
I did watch Hard Knocks for the Giants.
Yeah, for the Giants. I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
The
I watched it
Bears.
for your team, but now I'm watching it for the Bears. I hate you because I wasn't gonna watch it at all, but because you was watching it for the Giants, I watched it, which I enjoyed. I did. Not gonna lie, I did. I enjoyed it. Yo, Saban came on there and gave some good advice, man. I don't know if you saw that clip of Saban.
I saw that clip. Yeah.
And he said, build the players up, take away the expectations. I don't know, man. I think they did it right. They paid DJ Moore early. I don't know. I'm not trying to ride. I'm not trying to jump on the train. I don't even like trains. So I'm not trying to jump on the plane right now to take off and go with the Bears. But do you think that Caleb has a good chance, at least throwing for 4,000 yards this season?
It depends. It depends on their game plan because, I mean, Swift had 1,000 yards back-to-back seasons. So how are they going to utilize Swift? That's going to be another key. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, you're absolutely correct, man. Are the Bears going to be the Texans of last year? I guess that's the question.
See, that's the comparison they're making. They're comparing him to possibly having a season like C.J. Stroud. Pete, what's your take on it, bro?
Very similar to the Eagles, right? I'm not saying they got the same amount of talent, but look at who they got at the receivers. Look who they got in the back. Like they got solid players everywhere on the offense, and then they got a rookie, like a highly touted rookie who's coming in and don't have to worry about who am I throwing to. He's got Keenan Allen and then DJ Moore, who just got paid, who just had an ill season last year. Swift in the backfield. They got Komet and I forgot the guy's name, the other tight end they got. But they got two guys on the tight end position. The offensive line is solid. I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
I'm gonna tell you. Go ahead, June.
Now, he said something that caught my attention a little bit, and he said he came in where he doesn't have to worry, right, Caleb? I mean, is he kind of coming into like how Andy Reid came into the Kansas City Chiefs, where hey, you don't have to worry because you have your pieces in the pie. You got your Kelsey, you got your Tyreek Hill, you got your Hardman in the back. In the end, now you got your quarterback. But now the tables are turned, a whole different organization.
So I think that the Bears showed him that they were all in by improving the offensive line, by getting Keenan Allen, getting Odunze, getting Swift, signing Vontez Sweat, signing DJ Moore on offense, Sweat on defense, and making sure, listen, if you had a question whether we here for you, see the problem with the Bears was always a defense first, ground and pound team. They have never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards. So I think that now the GM is understanding, listen, this has to change. It's an offensive game. It's not a defensive game. That shit you did. Because I was thinking about when June said about the Steelers, and I'm a little bit over the place, but follow with me a little bit. I'm going to get to it. I was thinking when June said defense, Steelers, Wilson or Fields, and I'm like, man, but Trent Dilfer had a horrible game in them playoffs, but that defense was stout enough to hold over and win. But I thought to myself, offenses then don't look like they look today. The game was very different then. You could pop a motherfucker come across the middle and it'd be okay. Now, if I breathe on you and you fall to the floor, that's a holding, roughing the receiver. I don't know. It's a flag. We throwing a yellow flag in the air and fucking, look, I'm throwing it in the air. Look, guys, it's a foul. But I don't know, man. I don't think now you could win with just a stout defense like that and your quarterback doing mediocre shit. I don't think you can. I'm not going against Patty Mahomes or Joe Burrow, somebody that could put up 40 at any given time with any defense on the field. So I think for him though, I think the GM knew we got to change our outlook, and I think they went all in on him. Like, you know how Jerry Jones say he's all in. I think the Bears are all in on Caleb Williams and going. I'm not saying going to Super Bowl this year, and I'm not saying, but maybe even making a wild card spot in the playoffs.
And let's not forget the receiver they drafted too in the first 10 picks. They got
Dunze.
and they got a Dunze. So
Yeah, and he's nice.
yo,
He's been catching balls. Pause. He's been getting all the balls that they throw at him. Pause. He been no diddy. He been catching them. And you got Keenan Allen. What I like about it is you got Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, who are veteran wide receivers out there. And what I saw in the first clip, the first video, the first episode, which is only one episode out, you had Keenan Allen and DJ Moore talking to Caleb. Yeah, I didn't cut this way because I didn't get the separation, but next time I'll take it this way. So they're talking to him and they're telling him, like, listen, this is what I like, this is what I saw, and he's taking it in. At first, I thought he was trying to do too much as a rookie coming in. Oh, I want my money paid this way, I want this paid that way, and but they look at Marvin Harrison Jr.'s son, they can't even sell a jersey, I think, right now, or something, because he's being sued or somebody's suing somebody. I forgot. We're talking about a play call. But anyways, we're not going to talk about him. I don't know. I think I'm excited, man. I really am excited to see what he does this year, bro. He's going to have growing pains. I think he's going to have a few games. But like they said, Peyton Manning had 28 interceptions this rookie season. And that's a record that still stands. And look, Peyton Manning went down as probably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. 2 Super Bowl rings, 3 appearances, 5 NFL MVPs, the most by any quarterback. I mean, long neck, big head. He was winning, bro. He was winning. I ain't got nothing else, man. Y'all got any topics y'all want to talk about? Anything you want to touch on real quick? Yo, what's the score on your game, bro?
I gotta change it back.
Oh, what you was watching? My team? I got you, bro. Listen.
No, absolutely not. I tell you, I was watching the Yankee game, but because again, look, it's pouring. Number one is pouring.
Yeah.
Number two, they're showing Brian Burns. Oh, Giants is up 14-3. They're showing the starters. They're showing Brian Burns. They're showing these dudes on the sideline. These dudes ain't playing. And look, he just got whoever. Oh no, they got. It's not Jared Goff. So,
bro,
it doesn't do nothing for me, man.
Not us. We up 7-0, and we done played Brissett. We played Drake, and now Zappy's in there. So I think Joe Milton's next. You know what I'm saying? And our starting defense is out there. We done got a fumble return, I think, or something like that. I don't know. But we did score. I saw it when we scored. I didn't want to say nothing because, I didn't want you laughing at me like, yo, Frank, you getting happy over preseason, buddy. Let's talk about that. The first week of the games, I'm gonna miss a lot of that because I'll be in DR from the 4th to the 8th. I fly back Sunday. So I'll be missing some games, man. Y'all gonna have to keep me posted, Because if not, I pay for NFL Plus, so I go back and watch the games over, and be able to talk about what I saw. So June, you got anything you want to Brenton?
Well, I was reading. So the kicker for the Lions, he tore his ACL. So and it's not a huge blow, but it's a huge blow because we know how important these kickers have been in the last few seasons, to where it's come down to the kickers and the Lions, right? The Lions, not the Carolina Panthers. The Lions, they went ahead and they lost their kicker to a torn ACL, man. So I think that that's a shitty way to start the season for Detroit.
As we talked about, though, it's not like they were going to use him anyway, so they don't need a kicker.
You're right. They're not using him. I think he learned from that. I think Dan Campbell goes back, looks at those games, and says, "Man, I would have kicked the field goal. I could have been the Super Bowl."
Oh, God.
Right. Oh my!
I mean, before we close out, because really we're not even at an hour yet. Do you think the matchup of the Lions and the Chiefs would have been better than Chiefs and 49ers? I'm gonna start with Pete.
Yes.
Why? Let me see why.
Jared Goff. I don't know. It's a couple years ago. I think this is Mahomes. No, I think this was Mahomes' first year. Rams, Chiefs, 52-53 or some shit like that. Monday night game. Goff can definitely go head to head with, and look at the weapons he has in Detroit. So I believe absolutely 100% yes.
June?
Question was the roster what?
So if the Lions would have just beat the 49ers, went to the Super Bowl, do you think they would have matched up better versus the Chiefs?
Yes.
And so why? Your take.
I think they take more risk than the 49ers do. And the 49ers, they were very strategic the entire game. And you have to be, don't get me wrong, because it's a Super Bowl. However, as we all know, they took more risk. It didn't pan out, but they take more risk. And for that reason, and along with the players that they have, I think it would have been a little bit more on the Detroit aspect of things in the 49ers. The 49ers were just too game planned. They came in there with a plan. It seemed like they stuck to that plan throughout the entire 4 quarters.
I think, yes, it would have been a better matchup. I've said that before. I think that when you got a team like the Lions that they haven't been to an NFC championship in 30 plus years, and now you get into a Super Bowl, Dan Campbell would have had that team on cloud 1,000. They would have been up there with Jesus and God, looking down like, yo, and I think it's that mentality of that dog. I'm not scared of you. I'm not supposed to be here. So I'm gonna go out here and play with everything I got because I'm not even supposed to be right here right now. Amon St. Brown. I can't say his first name.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, there you go. He probably he would have been the best receiver on both teams. You know what I'm saying? Their tight end was good. And Goff's been there before, and like you said, he went toe to toe with him. So I think, and Goff's grown from the last time he went to the Super Bowl.
Definitely.
So I think, and their defense was good. Like, I just think that team was built to give them. See, Andy Reid already knows what to do versus Kyle Shanahan. He knows it. He got it. He's like, listen, I got it. I'm going to spot you two. He's like a boxer. I'm going to give you the first 2 or 3 rounds. I'm going to feel you out. And then from round 6 on, I'm going to eat you up because I already figured you out. So I think it would have been better. I'm excited. As I'm saying, I'm excited for it to start, man. I'm excited for it to start. I don't know how I'm gonna draft this year for fantasy, bro. I really don't know. We got a couple of drafts coming up, and I don't know. I'm really stuck on. Maybe we do an episode about that. But anyway, we'll figure that out off camera.
They said McCaffrey is the #1 target this year. Just saying.
He's always like the #1 target, bro. I mean, but then you got people drafting Mahomes in the first round.
Yep.
And any expert tells you don't draft a quarterback to like the 5th or 6th round. But anyway, that's neither here or there. I ain't got nothing else, man. June, you got something else? As old by the ways?
No, I'm excited. Football's back, and even though preseason is preseason. Caleb and the #1 and #2 first round draft picks are slated to play on Saturday. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, to kind of see some movement out there. We all know they're not playing like we spoke about, but just to see the #1, #2s out there, and also just glad football's back. Golly, why took your time this year? Jeez.
That's because we record. Hey, Pete, any last old by the ways?
No, that's it for me, bro.
I will look, man. It's Offsides. Go like, share, subscribe, hit the like button, notifications on. We drop them every week. Whether we got 1 topic or 80 topics, you're gonna get something from us. That's for sure. I'm excited. It's back. Looking forward to this season. I think we're gonna have a good time. But that's it from us. Tune into next week. Peace.